Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com. It is Wednesday, the 29th of June. We have been rallying for the last 3 days, as everyone knows, and we are getting much closer to our first target of approximately 1316 here, this blue line, which is the 20 moving average here on the weekly. Now, as I said before, I do not expect it to basically not turn and go back down. I do expect a wave 3 down to come as this goes up. This has not made any positive divergence yet, which tells me that it needs to sorry about that, it needs to basically continue back down, curl up a little bit, then continue back down. I still think that we're going to dip down here and continue down eventually. So this is going up here, and we're just basically making a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks up at the most. And this again, I still think this is going to curl up and attempt to go up here towards 50, but I don't know how high it's going to go. Let's go roll back down again. It could be similar to this one, or it could be similar to this one over here, where it actually, I guess you'd be looking more like this one here, where it went up and then back down. As you can see, it buried itself here. Of course, that time period was the that time period was the huge crash that we had there in 2008. But anyway, for now, we're just looking at the short term. The short term would say that we're going to go up here and hit that, and we're going to reverse from it, at least for a day or two. Same thing here. This has not dropped. I thought it would curl down and be in about the 1310 area. It is not. It is right now sitting at 1316.09 and 1316.94 for the 50 and 100 period daily moving averages. So that is still a next high of resistance. It's just up a little higher than I expected. Now also, if you draw a line from here down to here, it's going to put you at about 1320. So that is your resistance zone right there at 1316 all the way up to 1320. So it's a little higher than the 1310 I thought it would be, but because it's a moving target, and we are moving up just as I expected. And I do think we're going to dip down here. I don't think it's going to go negative. I think we're just going to dip down and then run back up into next week, because I think this needs to go higher, up to at least 0 before it rolls over, or close to it. It may go a little higher. I don't think it will, but it could. But I do expect it to get up here a little bit, so it can roll over and dip back down again. You can see the full stochastics did curl up just like I thought it would. It's headed up here to 80. So that's why I think we could roll over anytime. Maybe tomorrow we could see some selling after an initial pop higher. I think we could very well go ahead and put a topping tail in tomorrow. If we go up tomorrow and hit that 1316 to 1320 area, I think you could turn tail and go back down and actually close the day negative with maybe some type of topping tail, and let it reset the 60-minute charts. We might have a follow through on Friday, but being it's 4th of July holiday weekend, I'm not really expecting it to do so. I'm just expecting it to back off initially to break this huge rising wedge that we have here. As you can see, this is too steep. It needs to sell off. So if we have a pop in the morning up high and hit this 1316 to 1320 area, that is I think a good short for it to move back down, maybe retest this 1300 level, but certainly move back down and allow this 60-minute chart to go negative at least for a day or 2 days, and then maybe curl back up later Friday a little bit, and then maybe a big rally on Tuesday of next week possible. I don't know how high it's going to go. This target area here, 1350, is what I'm thinking that it should be going to, but it's this zone area right here is what I think that the target's going to be. Could it pierce a little bit above it? Sure. Could it go on up there to 1353? Sure. I don't think it's going to 1370. I really don't think it's even going that high, but anything is possible. So what you would see there is that go down, maybe go negative, curl back up, then maybe go back up, put a smaller one in as it over the course of the next week, sometime next week, for it to put a high in, maybe even on Tuesday, because of the moon cycles. That is a turn date. The new moon actually occurs on July the 3rd, and I had posted that in the other video, so let's look at that again if we can. And no, not this one. Let's see here, the site. Scroll down here to I got a lot of these people, their sites here on the blog, and I don't even get a visit on them all the time. I like to have them there for reference, so I can always go check them out. Okay, so this guy, I like this guy because he mixes the market in with astrology and the moon cycles, which let's see, where's his moon at? Right here. There it is. That's July 3rd. That's a new moon. You can see back here the full moon was a bottom. And let's get another chart here. It's a little bit bigger chart, 10-minute chart. It's been pretty accurate here lately. Now, is it always? No, of course not. Nothing's always accurate all the time. But here lately, it's been pretty good at calling turns. This was a big turn here at this full moon here. It turned and went up from 1294 to 1370. Wow, that was like 76 points. That was a nice one. This one here, not as accurate. It called a decent move up from 18 to 46. That's 28 points or something like that. That was a decent one, but it didn't call this actual bottom here. So, but that's still, it's a turning point. It did call this as a nice top before a nice wave 3 down and hit this target. So what it could call here is another, is it going to be, if we go up to 1350, obviously it's not calling the correct one. That can take a while. But if we turn down some tomorrow, and then go down and then back up into next week, and maybe it doesn't go that high. Maybe we get full. Maybe it only goes to 1330 or something. I mean, I don't know. But my point being is I'm still thinking that 1316 area to 1320 is a good short. Now, this day is July the 3rd, but understand that we're not open till the July the 5th. So we're just going to have July the 1st and the 3rd, or July the 1st and July the 5th right here in this time frame. So it could either be Friday before this, it could be this Friday as a top, or it could be a top on July 5th. Either or, we're not sure. Here, as you can see, it looked like it topped the day before the moon. Here, it looks like it topped the day before the moon as well. So, maybe we top Friday and we open up Tuesday after some stage disaster over the weekend, some 4th of July, some event that, the gangster stage. Hard to say. So keep that in mind. So again, 60-minute chart. Looks like it's ready to roll down tomorrow, but that is technically up and some sideways consolidation. It's not the best bull flag because you see some of them topping tails, but I'm still inclined to think they're gonna push this sucker on up to this 1316. I'm sorry, to 1320 area tops, and then just and roll it over. And so, but again, on the daily, we are still pointing up. So it doesn't mean, so when it dips down, it rolls down, it's just one day. We're talking one day tomorrow. Could it turn into something more? Yeah, it could, but we just have to see, play that out one day at a time. And if it pops up here, hits a topping tail and drops for a day or two, there's not much damage done to this. It could still keep on going up. So keep that in mind as well. It could be a 5-way push. Here's a wave 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. You know, we could have a 5-way push on that, folks. All right, so looking here to the 30-minute chart, there's a nice wedge drawn for you. You can see you can easily pop right up here to that 1316 area and then fall back down and break that wedge. You can see the 30-minute chart. If it did pop up, it would be very quickly, probably in the morning. Would not really affect this chart. And if it came back down, I would expect this to kind of get deeper, because it's already starting to roll over here. Yeah, it's trying to curl it back up, but if this happens real early in the morning, I don't think it'll hold it, and I think it'll fall back down, and so we shouldn't even see a positive bar at all. I mean, unless it trades past 30 minutes, but I don't know if it's able to do that. But you know, we'll see. You know, I'm thinking of popping drops, what's more likely. And same thing here on the 15-minute chart. Obviously, the 15-minute chart could, since it's a shorter time frame, turn back up and pop back up. And you see here why I said it was a weak bull flag. I don't know if that's the final copy. I'll refresh the page there for the day. And some of you ask why, you know, I don't draw lines on these. It's not the final copy. Okay. So I like to use other people's charts. They cover some things that I may miss, and I'm going to pull some of my charts here as well to kind of mix them in here as well. But it's good to learn from other people as well. As you can see here, this is curling up and it is moving back up. This is the reason I said you could get your pop tomorrow morning up to that level. So let's pull down one of my charts here. And well, let's just go full screen on it. What the heck? And you should still be able to see it. Okay, you see this nice little line down here? You see where that's at right there? 1320. 1320. And you can see that this is on the 30-minute chart. Is where this is at. As you can see right here, 30 days, 30-minute chart. Let's go over to 60 days for the 60-minute chart. And you can see the same thing there, where that line's coming from right there, all the way down, hitting, connecting this top. You can see that one there. We've already broke through that one. And you can see that wants to curl back up, but it does look like it's going to go down. Now, you look at all these past bars right here. I want you to look at all these, and in every case, if you had them extended that long, that this was the longest one. If you count how many 60-minute bars before it finally did collapse. This one is the longest one. This one here is very comparable in length to this one here, which tells me that, yeah, I think we're going to roll over. I think we can pop very early, maybe go to 1315 or on up to this 1320. Now, I don't have any moving averages drawn here on here, but I already showed you those. I'm just drawing lines on this chart right here. Now, where does, you can look at this on the daily as well, and you can see here on the daily that we're still moving up, as you can clearly see. But we hit that line, and exactly what I thought. You know, you could draw another line here as well for a low, but so we could draw some more lines in here to let's see here. I don't see any standing out right now, but certainly I guess you could draw one through that area. If you go here and draw a line right here, you can see that that is more resistance. Does it go through these tops and go on down to here? Could. You can see that if you're counting the tops, or rise it up a little bit. If you include that one there, obviously it's a little higher. That puts you at about 1345. So that's a tough one to call. So if we went to just right here and excluded all these topping tails and just went right to the actual closing price, it puts another line right there. But I don't particularly like that line. It's more likely a horizontal line. So, but we'll leave it there for now. Okay, so on the SPY, you don't know what the SPY is, you can see this as well. I'm drawing the same lines here pretty much, this line looks to be a little bit off, and I can move it up just a hair. Okay, so it looks a little bit off, and you can see right there it looks like just a hair under 132 before it gets up there and hits it. So that would be your line there to look at, and look at it on the yearly basis, and you can see pretty much some major trend lines here that's already been broken. This here is a major trend line as well. Dates back, I don't know how far this one dates back. Let me see, 1 year, 5 years. I think I went back 5 years on this one. That's one of the reasons we bounced. Yes, see here, all the way up to here, connecting to here, connecting to here. That's why we've had such a major bounce. They're not going to let that thing just collapse when you hit that major trend line. When this trend line breaks, it's going to go down hard, and so that's why we've had such a strong bounce. So looking back on the 60-minute chart, this is my target for tomorrow morning, to see if it hits that target. If it does, I think it's a good short for at least a short time period, at least 1 day, if not more. This would also coincide with the UUP, which is the dollar index, hitting some support levels here. Let's go to the 60-day and kind of look at it a little better that way. There's not a line drawn here, but this here is some support right here. The next level down for that would be this area right here. This is a bear flag, so it could drop to a little bit more, 21.25, very easily tomorrow morning on a rise up, and maybe it could find some support there. It's been dropping, but look at where it's at here on the 60-minute chart. It's oversold territory. It looks like it wants to come up. I'm thinking that the dollar does try to find some support here and come up sometime soon. If we draw a trend line from, let's say, this closing point to there, we've got more support down there. And then if we draw one here through there, let's see, just to show you some of the support levels. So you kind of get the idea. We did break some major support there, but again, it's the bear flags. If it drops, I think there's more support right in this area from horizontal support, because you can see it bottomed here and went back up and stalled again, went back down, and then here it went up, here this area again. So I think there's some support there around that area. So, and I just think it's ready for it to turn back up. I don't, at least short term. Now longer term, let me rephrase that. Longer term, we could, meaning like in the next week, it could drop further. It could drop on down to this trend line or this trend line in here. If it drops down to here, I mean, they're going to destroy the dollar in the end. We all know that. It's all planned. But so anyway, I think I've covered about everything pretty much. To put it simply, folks, I'm looking for a move up to approximately 13.16 on the low side, 13.20 on the high side, to hit those trend lines and then turn back down and drop to, I would estimate, at least this 1300 level to do a test. Draw a trend line across at least that 1300 level to test that. If that breaks, then it could get ugly. But we'll just look at it one day at a time. So that's it. Good luck, everyone, as usual, both bears and bulls.